welcome back. Today we're going to be painting a bear in a field of flowers. So I started with drawing this bear on my canvas at the bottom, so you can go ahead and do that too. Feel free to pause the video. And now I'm going to make a dark brown. Okay, now we're going to use the dark color I made mostly at the top of his head. So we're going to paint the top of his head. What it looks like. And I'm going to continue to do it until the bottom. So in case you didn't do this, the very bottom of it, the side of the face turned into a V at the bottom. Then I drew like the neck sides. So this brown I'm using is going to be the neck, not the middle, because we're going to make that a lighter part. Okay, this is what it looks like after I finish outlining it. And now we're going to start with a lighter color. Okay, now we're going to paint the inside of his muzzle. Okay, so notice I didn't color in his nose or the bottom part of his mouth. That's because we're going to use good old black. And we want a small paintbrush, because we're going to take the black and we're going to outline the smile. Here's what it looks like, and now we can paint underneath his mouth. Ta-da! Okay, and now we want to use a really, really, really dark brown for his nose. There's our bear. Well, not quite, but we're almost done. So now the first brown that I started with, the one that we did the outline with, we're going to paint the entire bear that color. Is it weird how much this paint I made references to chocolate? Now I'm finished, and I used a really small brush to paint it, so I'm going to use this really thick brush to go over it, so I can do a double layer, and it'll look really, really thick. Okay, here's what it looks like, and I painted over his eyes, kind of thinking that they would show through, and it didn't. And I also didn't do his ears because we're going to do those right now. Now we're going to use the same brown we used for the nose to make a little hump inside the ears. Here's the ears. And now we're going to slowly get lighter and then darker as we move from the ears. Here's the first step. I made the ears kind of hairy around it. Alright, here's what the ears ended up looking like. And I made the outside, like, you can see like the fur on it, because like I just took my brush and like really fast went like that with the tip of it, and it made it look like that. We're going to do the same fur texture we did outside of the bear with our regular brown. Here, let's see if I can do it showing you guys. Like that. All right, here's what it looks like. And now we're gonna need black, and then like the smallest bit of white. Don't waste your paint on this part. Okay, we're going to paint the eyes just like a sideways oval. Ta-da! I'm gonna add one more detail, which I'll show you after I do it. I just drew two little lines coming from the top of the eye. And now we need a really tiny paintbrush, or one with a hard tip. I'm using the hard tip one. And with that little bit of white we added, we're gonna take the tip of our paintbrush and put some white on it, and then just put a little dot. And there's our bear. Now we're gonna move on to the field behind him. So let's go do that. So let's start with the blue sky. All right, here it is. And now we're gonna paint this bottom part green. So probably like this color and this color mixed together. Here's what it looks like. I can't really lift it up now because it's wet. But that's what it is. And so we're going to make the flowers. So we're gonna start, we need it to dry. So I'm gonna grab a hair dryer, I'll be back. Okay, so now the part that we want is dry, which is just like this section of it. We're going to use a paintbrush and the same green paint that we used for the grass, and we're going to draw some pieces of grass coming out. Here's what it looks looks like. And now we're going to add some flowers on the top. I added 3 more of these by the purple flower and the dandelion. And now I just thought of a really cute idea. We're going to make paws, so it looks like the bear is almost like over the painting, you know? Like he's like hanging on to the edge of it. So let's go ahead and make the paws. And now, here's the finished picture. Looks so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and dry it off, and then that's it, guys. Thanks for watching today.